So, even though this talk is titled Parenting Autism in Rural America, it's not just about the people who, like my wife and I, have faced this particular challenge in our family. Because we all face challenges in our family. It's different for everybody, but it's really about living in parts of America that have more sparsely populated areas, and because of that, don't have the same level of support services as people in suburban and urban America do, right? So I'm telling you stories tonight from my journey, but each of us have and will encounter problems. Some involve special needs kids, others involve totally different circumstances. But what do we do when we live in rural America and encounter these things? Number one, we find our peers. One of the very first things that my wife did after our son was diagnosed with autism was to find other parents of autistic kids and start to network with them. They created an organization called SALSA, the Seneca Autism Learning and Support Association. And now, months, years later, I run into people all the time that know my wife. And, oh yeah, I had a cousin with autism, and they went to her. I had a friend that was facing this. Oh, yes, I know your wife from X. It's very powerful, and there's so much support, education, technology that can all be shared through those types of engagements. Number two, watch technology. Isaac was diagnosed with autism in about 2003, and at that time, the people that were watching that area would show you a keyboard, and because so many of our kids on the spectrum struggle with speech, these keyboards were basically concentrated computers that could help them learn to form sentences. That's the good news. The bad news is they're this big and they cost $8,000. So, as we are busily fighting with the school system, trying to get them to buy Isaac one of these machines because we feel it's important to get him something now, at that same time, 2004, 2005, 2006, what's coming out? iPod Touch. And now all of a sudden, you can get the same technology that was on one of those $8,000 keyboard-looking units in a $600 iPod. Very remarkable change in just that short amount of time that we were fighting that fight. What's the third thing you do? Be creative. When Isaac was ready for kindergarten, we felt like he needed a full day of services. In the community that we lived in, part-time kindergarten was the only thing that was available. So what do? Well, he was going to the county preschool the previous year. We spent some time and rolled up our sleeves and hammered on the administration a little bit, and finally created a system by which he would go to kindergarten half a day with an aide and go to the county preschool for another half a day. After we got this system figured out, we looked at his education system teachers and said, how many other kids have done this? They said, this is the first time we've ever done anything like this. You have to be creative when there's not an infrastructure there for you. And number four, embrace your family. There's nobody, I don't care how well they're trained, that is going to care for and watch after your child the way your family would. What we ended up doing, we had a